people, and we're back with another video, and today we're going to be doing a little preview to the Arsenal versus Paris Saint-Germain Champions League fixture that's happening tomorrow at the Emirates. Yeah, but before we get into any of that, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, join the gang. We're growing, you know, trying to build up the community and that. And while you're there, let's work out them algorithms. You know what it is. Hit a like, drop a comment, because we're trying to push the content out there to all the beautiful people in the world. All right, so looking into this game. So let me just say, I think it's going to be a difficult game. I do think it's going to be a difficult game. And I full well understand that, you know, at least from a names perspective, PSG are not the kind of titans that they used to be. You know what I mean? Like, you know, yeah, your Mbappe, your Neymar, your Messi, your Verratti. Do you know what I mean? Like, they had a lot of names in it. But they're still a good team. You know, they still do have a lot of good players in their team. I'm not too sure about world-class players. You know, is there anyone? Yeah, I don't think they have any world-class players. But it's clear that they've gone from a, like, let's rely on a big star to let's operate more as a team. You know, let's work together. Let's build like a process, dare I say. Let's have some structure, you know. Let's all be moving in the same direction. And I think since Enrique's done that, like, it's evident, you know, the success that it's bringing so far. At least they're unbeaten so far in their season, like Arsenal. Hey, you know, maybe processes are the way forward. And I think that that's why you can't kind of try and belittle PSG in any way, shape or form. Like, even though it's at the Emirates, I do have us as favourites, but I don't think that you can count PSG out. I most definitely will not be counting them out, to be completely honest. So I guess a bit of big news is, apparently after the Rennes game, Enrique and Dembele had a bust up. They had an argument. Don't know what it was about. Don't know the details. But all I know is it resulted in Dembele being dropped for this game. I mean, whether it comes to us seeing the starting lineups and he's there, we'll find out. But as we know, so far, Dembele is dropped. And I mean, that's just fabulous. I want, like, don't get me wrong, yeah, his end product is a bit fugazi. He's not consistent in his delivery, you know. But from a 1v1 perspective, he's a handful, man. Like, he's a problem. Like, he is a threat. Like, and don't get me wrong, This is because obviously there was the news about Calafiori, something with his knee. I've been hearing that the scans have shown that it's nothing serious, but we'll probably find out tomorrow who trains, who doesn't, and that'll give us more of an inkling, right? But I feel like Calafiori could definitely, you know, lock up Dembele, if I'm being completely honest. Like, I know that he struggled for like maybe the first 20 odd minutes against Savino, against Manchester City, but after that he pretty much locked him up. So he was just warming into it. So I'm confident in Calafiori being able to deal with Dembele if he does play. But as it stands, it looks like he won't be playing. So I have even more confidence on that side, because I'm not too sure who will play for them on that side now. Maybe either Desiree Doué or Marco Asensio will most likely play there. At least that's what I'm guessing. And I mean, don't get me wrong, Desiree Doué is a fabulous youngster. Like he's gonna be a problem in the future. But right now, I think Calafiori can lock him up. And Asensio, same thing. Like Asensio, good player, but he's never been like just that level above in it. Like he's good in it. He's just a good winger, and yeah. He doesn't have the most pace, you know. He's a bit speedy, but he doesn't have the most pace. So I'd be more than confident in Calafiori locking him up. However, if Calafiori doesn't play, then on the left, who do we go? Maybe, well, it all depends on Ben White being fit or not. Because I imagine if he is fit and Calafiori's not, then he would play right back and Timber would play left back. But I would be more inclined to potentially look at maybe Timber right back and Kiwior left back. Probably Kiwior left back. And the reason why I say this is because of who I think is going to be their actual threat, and that is Bradley Barcola. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, yo, he. Anytime I see him running with the ball, I'm going to be like, oh, danger. But this is the thing: if Timber's playing on the right, I think Timber is more than solid enough in 1v1 situations to lock him up. But there will still be occasions where he gets the best of him because Bradley Barcola is a baller. He's an absolute baller. Absolute baller. Like what he likes to do on those left channels, yeah, cut in right foot, bang it. Like, do you know what I mean? He's got that, what's the best way to put it? That kind of, you see a lot of kind of right-footed, pacey, kind of lanky strikers do it nowadays. That they come in from the left, they cut in onto their right foot and they try and put it into the bottom right bins, and it like a Henry-esque. Do you know what I mean? You guys know what I'm talking about. And yeah, he's a bit tricky. He is going to be a problem to deal with. That's why I really want Timber right, because don't get me wrong, Ben White is an amazing defender, but this season, he's looked very susceptible to being beaten in those 1v1 situations. Like he has, I don't think he's come off on the better side of any 1v1s that he's done or had to go through this season. So yeah. I actually think Bradley Barcola is going to be their biggest problem for Arsenal, personally. If I'm being completely honest. But yeah, it's our first Champions League game this season at home. Yeah. So it's going to be great to see, you know, Champions League football under the lights at the Emirates. You know, we love it. But we do have a difficult start to our Champions League schedule. The start, yeah, man, we kind of got done the same way we got done in the Premier League, where we had a tough start. Like, look, in our first 4 games, we went away to Atalanta, who won the Europa League last season. We're playing PSG at home. We're playing Shakhtar Donetsk at home. Now, I am so happy that we're playing them at home and not away, because that's a bop. That's a journey. That's a journey. And you know what? I don't know much about Shakhtar Donetsk as of recent, innit? But one thing I know is they're a team that's usually always in the Champions League. They represent their country well, usually in the Champions League. And they do have a bit of history of doing pretty decently in European fixtures. So I'll never belittle them. But playing them at home is a lot easier than playing them away, just because of the logistic sides of things. And their pitches are a bit, from what I remember, Russian pitches are a bit fugazi. I think they use Astro or fake grot or something. It's just not right in it, plastic grot or something. And then we've got Inter Milan at the San Siro. And Inter Milan were the finalists of the finalists of the Champions League the year before. Yeah, it's not the Champions League, the year before. Yeah. So the season that City won the treble, yeah, because they played City in the final, they lost to City in the final. But they won their league last year. Inter Milan won their league. Inter Milan are strong. That's going to be a hard game. That's going to be a hard game, innit? So yeah, the schedule is a bit hard, but we can worry about that a bit later. So yeah, I mean, in terms of things I want to see from Arsenal, I actually really want to see Nwaneri start now. You know, I mean, he's probably not going to start this game, but I really just want to see him start, man. Like, I just really want to see him start, man. I mean, keep it so real. Like, he's... Alright, look, hear me out, yeah. He's clearly a footballer. When you watch him play, he's got that kind of je ne sais quoi. But, you know what I mean? He's there for the moments. Yeah, he's a skillful, tricky, pacey, no fear, wants to prove himself kind of player. And those type of players are the best players to play in the Champions League, because we all know Champions League it's about moments. It's moments football, innit? You know, when you got your moment, are you even going to identify that you're in your moment before then you take your moment? And I feel like he's a player who's there for the moments. It's exactly the same with Jesus. I feel like Jesus is a moment player. I feel like Jesus is super suited to Champions League football. And I guess when I go over my starting lineup, a lot of people might be a bit surprised. But yeah, I would like to see Nwaneri get, if not a start, at least like a lot of minutes against PSG. But I guess obviously if he doesn't start, it then depends on how the game is actually going, and with how strong their team is, like especially their midfield, because they got a really strong midfield, like Fabian Ruiz, Vitinha, that Zaya Emery is cold, Joao Neves cold, like Lee Kang In cold, like yeah, man. They're like any combination they do in their midfield is gonna be problematic. This game will probably be dictated by whoever can take control of the midfield. So that's why I feel like throwing someone in there, young, energy, no fear, wants to get me battle, all of that. But then I do think Trossard has been playing really well in the kind of 10 area in Odegaard's absence, so it will most likely be Trossard that plays there again. And you know, Arteta usually goes with the same lineup. So, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, obviously moving on to what I think Arsenal's lineup should be. Remember, this is should be, not would be. So obviously Raya in goal, pretty self-explanatory. Our best goalkeeper at the moment. You could even debate our best player at the moment. In these first few games, defense, I would go, and this is obviously providing everybody's fit. I would go Timber right back, Saliba, Gabriel, and then Calafiori left back. I think that back line at this point kind of picks itself. Like, it did really well versus Manchester City at the Etihad, and like against Leicester. Oh, I didn't forget their name, man. Jeez. Against Leicester, like Timber had like 7 chances created, which I think is joint highest that a defender's ever done in a game. I think that's with Trent Alexander-Arnold. And Calafiori was just moving like a loose cannon. Like, he was here, there, everywhere. He was, I couldn't tell if he was a left back, a centre back, a centre mid, a DM, an attacking mid, a left winger, a striker. I really couldn't tell what he was in it. So yeah, I feel like he just he's just a left-sided player in it. He's just a left-sided player. Midfield. Do you know what? I would go Declan Rice. See, do you know what? I would go Declan Rice, Wanyeri, and Trossard. I would play actually no, do you know what? I would go Declan Rice, Wanyeri, and Havertz in the midfield. That's what I would go this game. And the reason why I would go it is because Partey is in uncle mode at the moment. Just have to accept it. And I'm not dropping him because of like bad form or anything. I think he played pretty decently in the last few games. I just think that we, especially against the midfield that we're gonna most likely go up against in PSG, we just need better runners. We need people that have got more legs in them. And that's why I would go with Havertz and Ranieri. It's just that simple. Like, I feel like we need a lot of runners in the midfield. And I'm probably, like I said, you'd be surprised when you hear my 11. I'm probably going to get slated for that. But remember, this is what I want. It's not necessarily what's going to happen in it. But I just feel like we need more energy in the midfield. And I feel like Havertz, Ranieri and Rice provides us with a lot more energy in the midfield and a lot more control and a lot more, I guess you could say, panache in the game as well. So that's what I would go with. And then I would, obviously a front three, I would go Jesus on the left, Trossard in the 9, and Saka on the right. I told y'all you'll be surprised. I told y'all you'll be surprised. You know, again, this 11 is probably not what's going to happen. Like, if I think about what's actually going to happen, it's probably the goalkeeper and defense is probably what it will be. But then it will probably be Rice, Partey and Trossard in the midfield, and then Martinelli, Havertz and Saka. That's probably what it will be. But hey man, what I want is a bit different to that. What is very different to that. So yeah, I mean, look man, in terms of like a prediction, like I said, I'm pretty sure I said at the beginning, I do think that we're favourites. I think we can win the game. I think we will win the game. But in terms of like a scoreline, like, I don't know, I just have something screaming out to me 2-1. Literally screaming out to me 2-1. So yeah, I mean, let's see how it goes, you know? Let's see how it goes. I'm just excited to be able to watch Arsenal play Champions League football again. I do like me some Champions League. And yeah, I guess just let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you made it this far, subscribe, you're a G. Like the video, drop a comment. I'll catch you next time.